We're live. There's Jake sleeping over on the couch with Mal. Uh-oh. Game night. Alright, Jake, what are we doing tomorrow?
Big Niagara River.
You record this.
I will.
Okay. Okay. Jake, what are we doing tomorrow?
Big Niagara River trip. Posse, very dirty river. Posse, probably going to Oak Orchard to try and catch a big old slabby steelhead.
Big steel.
See you then.
Let's go! Right here. Right here. Right here. Oh God! Find him! This is Fight for Your Right Fishing.
Hey, I'm on my last phase. What is it?
How do you think the trip's gonna go tomorrow?
I'm gonna catch a big one.
Think the river's gonna be clean?
No.
No!
I think you're going to be slipping your ass on the rocks in the snow.
That is a high possibility. Thoughts?
Don't know.
Don't know. Alright, well, guess we're gonna see tomorrow. Look in! So, we had to bail on the Niagara very sadly because after looking at the weather reports and recent water reports and nothing changing, we knew it was going to be dirty.
It's gonna be like True Moo chocolate milk.
Yeah, like True Moo, and True Moo on the Niagara is never a good thing. So, plan B, we're going to Oak Orchard because we've heard there's some sick runs of some chrome, so we're going to go try to bag a dirty 30. But yeah, so we're gonna have to switch setups, lighten the line a little bit. There's a dude either hunting or fishing right here. But we're gonna have to bail on the big rigs and drop down a little bit and finesse.
Yeah, drop down from the 3/4 ounce slip floats all the way down to like a 6 grammer.
Yeah, we're 6 gramming it now.
This is John's first time with the pin.
Yeah, second trip out with a pin, but this is gonna be my first New York trip with a pin. So we're gonna be pretty raw still.
Probably gonna be twitching a bunch of jigs, probably some power minnows, and then drifting a small egg sack. Yeah, left right here.
Right here?
Yeah.
You mean at this road right up here?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because this has me going somewhere. We're gonna cancel this. We're canceling this. What's the update?
Update. Oak Orchard Dam, chalky milk. Watch guy hook 2.
We not hooked to.
We not hooked 2. Lost one. Lost a whole crap ton of line on my pin.
I didn't, and I sucked, so.
Got good word that the Niagara is fishing. There's like 2 foot of visibility. Guys are catching them on pink or white jigs. So that means they're eating with their eyes, you know? Not their nose. They're eating with their eyes. So
They could never eat with their nose.
we're making a big trip to Niagara.
Another hour drive.
Contemplating Devil's Hole
But we're gonna
or
send
AP. Or we're just gonna send it.
Silly, but we're still gonna send it. So stay tuned. Here we go. Yep, you're good. Here you go. He's all tangled up in it now. There we go. That's a fatty, dude. That's a fatty. Dude, he choked that minnow, dude.
I can't believe first drift on it. Dude, 6 gram float in the Niagara. 6 gram. Dirty water, fish close, baby.
Important to keep them wet, boys and girls. There's this.
White death works everywhere.
Choked that. Now he's all. That's what he ate right there. Smelt pattern, just a little one.
White death.
Just right along the shore. Yeah, you can just set it right there. The rod and the camera.
Steel tongue?
Steel time! Steel time! Oh! Seagull! Ugh. That's how it's done, baby! That's how it's done! Fight for your right fishing, locked up. I'm just gonna leave this girl extended.
Yeah. I wasn't even freaking ready.
Nobody was, dude! Alright, are we still going? Yeah, we're still going. So, as you can see, first drift locked up, didn't even have the camera going. Had to get the camera ready while I was fighting a fish. Jake made like 4 casts to see how his one rod was working. And then he went to rig up his new pin. Kingpin, what is it, 575?
Yes, sir.
Big old pin. And then I just got the Kingpin Kinetic here. Rigged up with 15-pound blue blood run. We use the blue so that way it doesn't spook fish when the water's clear, but as you can see today, it really doesn't matter. That one, like I said, ate that zonker pattern, just a small smelt looking pattern. I literally just threw it on there as a gimmick. I was like, let's see if it works. I'm using a 6 gram float, which is traditionally way too light for here, but I wanted to play around with a fixed float instead of a slip float, so that's what I did. I got a 13-foot Claris Shimano. It's a medium, so I think it's a medium. Is it a medium light? Let's see. Let's look at it. How about that? It is a medium light action. So Jake's, oh, Jake's gonna, that's what we're doing right there. Just drifting it down. Hopefully it just plummets.
Like that.
Got a rock. That's what the takes look like though. That's our famous rock that we like to fish. So if you look in the background, you can pretty clearly see where we are. That's Canada right there, in case you're curious. And this is the mighty Niagara River. Jump right down there. right here. Literally right here. That's a slob, dude.
On that minnow again.
I know. Dude, look at the shoulders on that fish. I like how you're putting the camera in your mouth. Dude, that's a gorgeous fish, dude. Oh my gosh. Dude, that's like
a stud.
Look how
That's your
fat
biggest
it is.
Niagara steelie.
Look how fat it is.
That's a stud buck.
I think I just figured it out though. Look how shallow I'm fishing, dude.
Yeah,
He was literally right here.
I'm too deep.
Yeah, I think we're just fishing too far out. That first fish should have been a clue, guys. Yeah, get his head in the water. Let him breathe. Oh my God, that's a sexy looking fish, dude.
You want to set that camera up? I'll get him on hook.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's a stud buck.
Oh, dude, he
That's a nice
choked
fish.
it.
I bet he's
Those
9
measurements.
pounds.
Look at that. Absolutely choked that minnow. Just hammered it.
Look at the mouth on him.
I know, dude. This goes out to Lou, okay? Water is fishable and you can suck it. Dude, again, guys, we're just, we're float fishing. Got this new center pin. This is literally my second time out with it. We fished Oak this morning for a little bit and it was, people were catching fish. We saw one guy hook 2, but it wasn't the setup we wanted. We really wanted to be here. This is where we wanted to be, just to get away from people and just be in our element. This is like our second home for steelhead fishing and lake trout fishing. So that's where we wanted to be. So we got wind. One of the guys down there that was catching the fish said his buddy was here and hooked 2 already first thing this morning. So we were like, well, we got to get over here. So we fished there for a little bit just because we were already there. And then we bailed at like 9 o'clock. We bailed and drove the extra hour over here. And now we're just getting set up. This is our first spot. And I got one first cast, and now I just caught this one. It's a nice buck. We're gonna get it set up and take some pictures, so stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a little bit of a lull in the action. Still in the same spot. We're about to move. We're gonna have Jake give you a little tutorial on how we're catching these fish. J-Rock, let's see what you got. All right, give us a rundown on your setup here quick.
So, today is a little bit different than any other day.
Just because of the watercolor. See how it's kind of dirty?
Watercolor is really, really dirty. And most of these Niagara River steelhead, they're very, very visual feeders. I mean, there's so much water, they have to just rely on their eyes. When it gets really, really dirty, they push close to the shore. I haven't even hooked the fish today. John has landed 2, but they've all been in this real slow pocket water right here. I mean, typically, as you can see, like we're fishing, this is a 1 ounce float, but we're normally fishing like 1 ounce, 3/4 ounce floats with trolling weights and my own little rig, a little jig, and a chartreuse bead. Chartreuse bead is my favorite lure on the Niagara River. I've caught giant fish all the way from Lakers. I've caught walleye on chartreuse
I
beads.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm typically fishing this giant rig. I got 12-pound fluoro, and then I have 20-pound mono to, I know, 15-pound mainline. Doesn't make totally a lot of sense, but I just had extra mono. But that's my float that I use. I use a trolling weight right at the bottom of that. This is probably your most important part. That's what cuts down through this crazy current. And
Then you throw your pliers on the ground.
once you cut down through that current, I just put a little bit more mono. This is that 20-pound mono. I just run 2 egg sinkers. That's what gets me down to real close to the bottom without it being, I mean, if you break that off, you lose your whole rig. It's not that big of a deal if you break that off. And then I go to a barrel swivel and then down to my bait. I mean, I catch a lot of big fish on beads up here. Also jigs work. Right now, probably about the middle of November, the smelt, they start running up this stream again. And hence why there's 8,000 billion seagulls. So, I mean, anything that imitates a small minnow or a smelt, this is literally just a small rabbit hair zonker. I mean, doesn't look that much to us, but I mean, it has a ton of action underneath the water.
Let's see what the rod and reel you're using.
Yeah, I just got this pin. This is a Kingpin Imperial 575. It's a big boy. It has really fast line pickup, and I can just hold a whole crap ton of line on it too. This is a Douglas LRS rod. It's rated 6 to 12 pound. I mean, it's kind of a stick. So, I mean, once I hook these fish in this river, they like to run out into the current, and I mean, it's a tough battle. And if you don't have the right equipment, they'll just, I mean, they're fighting you. You have no control over that fish. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully I don't go get a skunk today. But,
why don't you make a couple drifts? Talk us through a drift.
All right. So, I don't know how well you can see it on the GoPro.
That float's pretty big. I think they'll be able to see it.
All right. So, right in front of us, there's like this slack water. And a lot of fish, they like to sit in it. They can't swim in this really heavy water, so they like to take a break, and they like to come in this little, we call it soft water. So there's soft water, and then there's a little bit of a current scene right out in front of us, and then there's the main current. I never fish the main current. You'd have to have a 2-pound float to fish it. But typically, I take it, I cast, and you're probably not going to be able to see it on the GoPro, but this is the inside seam right here. See, I pulled it in a little bit too far. Recast. But what happens up here is there's so much upswell and stuff, it'll go slick. So it's slick right now, and there's not a whole crap ton of current. And then all of a sudden there would be a massive current that comes up, and I mean, sometimes I can't even fish it. So you can see the river starting to go a little bit faster now, and I'm just hitting that inside seam right here. So I just let it go. I just feather my spool just a tad. I just keep a very close tension. A lot of times these fish, they won't even take your float down. Something's just different. I mean, sometimes it'll just wag, it'll go down and up, or you can actually see the bite. Found a rock. But yeah, sometimes you can even see the bite. That bite, sometimes it'll just, your float, it'll be going along, and it'll just stop, and you'll just see that top of the float, it'll just go like this. That's it. That's that fish grabbing that bead or the jig. But yeah, typically the Niagara River, it's really, really clear. I mean, it's like an emerald color. Anybody could Google the Niagara River and see how beautiful the color of the water is. But right now, it is super, super dirty. We've been having some big waves on Lake Erie. So the Niagara River, it's the bottom end of Lake Erie. All of the water that runs through here was eventually in Lake Erie. But there's I mean, Niagara Falls. The fish can't get above Niagara Falls. So all the water from Lake Erie runs into Lake Ontario. But all of the fish in this water are from Lake Ontario. Lake Ontario, as I like to say, is the land of giants. I mean, there's massive fish. I've lost some really, really big fish, and I've caught some really, really big fish in here also. But that's a wrap. That's all I'm pretty much doing. It sounds pretty complicated, but once you get the rig down and you hook a couple fish, it's not that difficult. Today it's difficult.
Wise words from a wise man. Well, we're gonna get back to fishing. hopefully you guys enjoyed that little snippet. It just kind of breaks down what we're doing. Like he said, the water's really dirty, so these fish are really close to shore, and that's how I've been catching them. Yeah, we've been catching them on that white minnow pattern that just, you know, replicates these smelt really well. And we're gonna get back to it, so hopefully we can show you some more fish, so stay tuned.